Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and that is David, aka Dream Twister. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the real episode 318 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
The certifiable, legit Mouthful Podcast. And the way you know is by the audio seal of approval. Here it is. GG!
Yes. It is not official until the seal has been summoned. No, summoned. Has been spoken. Yeah, uttered.
That's how you know. That's how Funny thing, the other day I was listening to or watching a YouTube video, and they used one of our GG, one of our trademark GG.
Are you serious?
I heard it like that. I wish I could remember which one.
I need you to know, because now we have to actually issue a cease and desist. We have to.
A takedown.
Yeah. We have to. We don't. We lose all credibility, and we can probably never fight
sir.
again.
This is not the way I want to run our ship. I think this is for the people. You know what? GG, it's completely what you call it is open source.
It's not trademarked or protected in any way.
Actually, it is trademarked, but so you can use our logo. So not without our permission. But you know what? It's Creative Commons. If you want to use our music, God knows we lifted it from somewhere. Also,
exactly.
Exactly. It's just we give. You give and receive.
It's a give and take relationship, symbiotic almost.
It's yeah. It's a socialist state. No, wait. Hold on. Too far.
Just a little
bad.
Far. Yeah. I don't know.
And we lost 50% of our audience also. Yeah. So we only have 2 left.
Honestly, I think there are more socialites. We may have just lost about 40% of the audience. That's
there you go.
The last polls kind of, steer in one direction.
I'll work on making it all even. By the end of the podcast, I would have insulted everyone equally. Every creed, every political stand, every religion. This Dark, he keeps interrupting our show with interesting facts that I cannot just ignore. I need to look to see why he posted. And right now he posted what looks to be the trailer for Last of Us, or trailer concept. What is this?
Trailer for Last of Us, the remake?
No. Sorry, my bad. The HBO series.
Oh no, they released it.
There is something there he posted.
I think we may have to stop the No.
Well, we can guys. If the podcast has a trailer of the week, then you guys know that we watched it. If it doesn't, then it was probably either a false alarm, fake, or Dark is a liar.
Who's his channel? I want to see who the channel is.
It is. Let's see.
No, this is not.
This is Smasher.
Yeah, this is Smasher. No.
So this is not.
There's no way they're going to have it before freaking HBO drops it. And I had also HBO on my back pocket, and they would have already sent me a notification on that.
Yeah. It's also called Last of Us HBO series teaser trailer concept. Okay, so thank you, Dark, for that contribution.
Waste
him on YouTube at Dark Necrodancer.
.com.
.edu because he's gonna teach you, son. Anyway.
Oh my god. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. For the record, if this is your first time listening, please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. That, of course, takes you right to our Facebook group. And, of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do is first we go into what we have been up to, move on into various news items, and, of course, we finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic, our reactions so far to the Summer Games Fest.
I thought we were going to talk about E3.
I mean, yeah, equals E3. Yeah, everything I just said equals
Nothing.
E3.
More like Keith 3? Jeff Keighley 3? I don't know. I can't make it happen.
I was letting you. Yeah, I was letting you do it, sir. I was
Keith
letting you do it, but can't say
Keighley
you nailed
3?
it. Gotta say,
No,
probably
no.
not.
I failed just like this entire year because last couple of years back we had COVID, and that didn't
Yeah.
stop E3 from happening. But 2022, of course, 2022 is the year we gave up. We just fucking gave up. It's like,
It's what the hell with this. Yeah, that's a
whatever.
shame.
It's like, and you can see it everywhere. It's like, Elden Ring got released, and now every other gaming company is like, oh, okay, let's just
Why
wait till
even
next year
bother?
to
Yeah,
release
exactly.
something.
Let's wait till next all. For the record, I sat through them all. Said, nope, we're doing this, people. We're doing it. And I gotta say, spoilers here for the hot topic of the week. Maybe not the best showing, but we will get into that later on in the show. So let's go ahead and start with
Gift. Okay.
Sure. Okay, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
Let's go ahead and start with what we always start with, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we have been up to. Mr. David Santos, what the hell have you been doing, sir?
I'm gonna switch it up for you. I'm gonna switch it up on his head because I'm not gonna talk about what I've been playing. I'm gonna talk about what I have not been playing. And that is very simple because we only have one big release this week. I don't even know if it was this week or last week. They're Immortal. And yes, I did not make that joke. I did not come up with that joke. that is the quote of every place, every YouTube video, every outlet that is talking about Diablo Immortal. What a surprise. Blizzard made a game that it is chock full of microtransactions and
really?
like
Okay.
horrible. Oh, dude. Oh, are you kidding me?
I
This
thought
is first
I
of
thought I
all,
saw that. I'm sorry. I thought I saw that there were some like good reviews because I think you have you. That's one of your. That's one of your picks on the fantasy league.
that
So
Diablo, yeah, Diablo Immortal. Yeah, right. Because at the end of the day, it, it's gonna have its fans that is gonna divide. Like this game could be literally siphoning money from their checking accounts, and they're still gonna be giving them a good review because it's Diablo, and they're big fans, and Blizzard, and Blizzard can do no wrong, except when they super fucking did last year, and got a whole state involved in it. But no, so Diablo Immortal it's a game that I have not cared to touch. It's it's a mobile game, first of all, but there's also it's also available on PC. After they revealed, they said that they had no plans to make a release, and they got they got super booed up, on the stage. Everybody was like, "Ooh!" And then they gave that beautiful line of, "You guys don't have phones?"
wow. Yeah.
And so that was their excuse. Um, but it came out. They caved, and of course they ended up releasing it, a PC version, a terrible port, mind you, because of course they're gonna. It's Blizzard. You know that they make PC games. How do you make a PC? A port of a game on if
Really?
your home monitor is a touchscreen.
Wow.
B, it has, you can right click on it or left click. One of the clicks you can't use because, of course, when you're playing mobile, you're just playing with your finger, with your one finger. I guess you're not allowed to use your other finger just in case you're playing on a really old Nokia Razor or something. I don't know. And it doesn't have mouse wheel support, so you can't even scroll through the menus. But that's not that's not the worst of it. This game is this is a free to play game, which I've said it, before. I don't have any inherent problem with free to play games. In in general, I think there was a very recent game that came out um, from Korea, but the US version was picked up and published by Amazon Games, and that game was Lost Ark.
Mm.
And I played the crap ton of Lost Ark, which is it played basically like a Diablo game. Um, and I will absolutely argue that the game has super better graphics and super better art style and everything, because it was not a fucking mobile game that got ported poorly over to PC. Um, and that game was free to play. And that game has its annoyances with it'll show you like, hey, you have bonuses for logging in every day, because they want you to log in every day so they can build, so you can build a habit.
Mm-hmm.
And they throw you little rewards. And then it has the stores where, hey, get get this, get this rewards, or this like it wasn't blatantly a pay to win, but it again, free to play game. It's not meant for you to sit and play for free. You can if you want to, if you're a fucking scumbag. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. I told you I was gonna insult everybody.
It's a red letter day for Mr. Santos.
Yes. No. I mean, you could. They're meant for you to spend some, just like every other game. You buy games, right? You guys buy games, and yes, they're going up in price, now, and we kind of, we don't like the idea, but whatever, if it's a highly anticipated title, we're still paying for them. So there's nothing inherently wrong paying for, like, items and stuff on free to play games. I don't want anybody to feel guilty of that. That's not the problem. The main problem is when those practices become fucking habit building, predatory, in your face, the whole time, and pay to win.
Mm.
And if you thought that you have seen like the worst of mobile games in general, um, first of all, you have, because unfortunately, mobile games are primarily, they're not primarily done for your entertainment. They're primarily done to take your money.
To make money,
Yeah. This game, you use this franchise, and it is the shittiest, most like horrible kind of loot box bullshit. First of all, you have loot boxes that you buy, and that doesn't guarantee that you actually get what you pay for, or you might even get items from that loot box, because you have to do some other stuff. So it's almost like you're buying pieces of the game. This game has 22 different types of currency.
Oh my God. Are you freaking serious?
22 different kinds of currency. All right. Okay. This is phenomenally bad. And the sad thing is that it is all put into a game that shouldn't. If it would have been a normal, a standard, pay first, a normal game, that would have it would have been great. It would have. It's not a bad game. It is a Diablo game.
Though?
Huh?
Even with all those currencies, I think
no, because those things are unnecessary. They tag that in. They always tag that shit in. The currencies are, yes, every game should have its own. I mean, every game inherently has some sort of economy, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
In general, that's it. It's built into its gameplay and whatever. So the difference is, do I? What is the resource that I spend to gain whatever currency? Is it time? Is it grinding? Is it killing mobs or whatever? Or is it? Am I allowed to pay my way and avoid all that and just become a whale? This game might as well be called Whale Hunter. That's what it's designed to do. It's designed
searching for the whale, yeah.
To but not only to get the whales, but to train the the ones that are the ones that are not fully grown whales yet. Kind of like to train you into making a habit of spending money here and here and here and here, and before you know it, you don't even realize how much you have spent. All right, and some people say like, so what? That doesn't affect me because I don't pay. I don't pay anything. The game is fine by me because like I don't get stuck on that thing. But supporting supporting this it's part of the problem. The way I see it, when Blizzard has to get the reports and it shows the amount of players that are playing, even if it's just 5% of those players are paying a lot, just the fact that that are epic and expansive and awesome storytelling and awesome gameplay and all that, they're just pushing everybody to make cheap ass cash grab mobile games because it's a very low barrier of entry. So anybody could make a fucking one of those, and it is an incredibly high yield because
which is where I said going. That's the. I mean, think about it. Everybody's heading that way too, and so. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. You're good. Also, you gave me a chance to close the door because my wife was being loud. She's talking on the phone, and I'm like worried that the mic is picking up her conversation. So no, but this is the part where I said, like, I guess I'm gonna end up offending everybody. Our podcast is small right now, so I still have to come in front and say, I do not officiate this or condone or he's saying does not represent my feelings.
Productions, yeah,
yes, or the GGs, etc. But I just think that for the most part, mobile games are just played by stupid people. Honestly, this is something. Back me up here, Chaos, if you're listening. But the thing is, I'm not saying every mobile game is if you play a mobile game, you're stupid. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that mobile games are designed, for the most part, again, not 100% of them, because we know that there are some exceptions, but for the most part, vast majority of those games are designed with the prospect of grabbing money, off of you. They play you. You don't play the game. You're just a hamster on a treadmill. I'm gonna be immune to that, until something that you like, some special IP or that you hold near and dear, or just something that came out recently that is just too cool and you need to be part of it because of the FOMO. And you steal your parents' credit card and get into but for the most part, that's the mobile garbage that they try it. I just want to declare myself a fucking enemy of mobile games. Like, fuck that shit anymore. Like, I don't care about the benefits. I don't care that, you give it to a kid and then the kids will start liking it and maybe they can, that it has the benefit of, if I'm stuck on on a bus stop and I don't have anything, like I can actually kill some time and play some game and have some fun. Like I don't even care about the benefit, because when the symptoms and the side effects are these, like I just don't care anymore. Fuck mobile games for in general. And I'm sorry if you do. So if you do play them, like, good for you. To me, you're part of the problem. That's it. That's it. And
Well,
again,
I
this is
will
my
officially
opinion. This
declare
has nothing.
myself part of that problem.
Huh?
I said I will officially declare myself part of that
Part of
problem.
the problem. Yeah.
I do
And I
occasionally
called you
play.
stupid also. I just
I,
told Bad Dog stupid. Can you believe that? Here on the show. This is going to be our last podcast. He's not going to want to talk to me anymore after this one.
no. I know what you mean, though. I really think you're. I think it's really more the free to play aspect of mobile games, because I generally play
Right.
those mobile games that are not free to play. I
Yeah.
play the ones that I'm like, here's the $5 it is for the game, or $3 or whatever it is, and that's it. I don't have to pay anything else. It's the same process as you would in console or PC gaming.
Yeah.
And so it really is the free to play thing, which, like it or not, that's what's coming. A lot of these, games and services are coming out little by little, and you got it's honestly just watching all the shows today, and yesterday, all the game showcases. Just counting in my head, going, that's free to play, huh? Okay, all right, all right. And then, of course, there was also a lot of talk of mobile games. Netflix had their own, which is only, I think, right now like 10 games. But you bring it up on your phone, your tablet, and there's a little section in the Netflix app for gaming, and it's just but stuff like Spiritfarer. I remember I was playing that for a little bit. That's actually coming to Netflix. So who knows? But I see what you mean. I do agree with you. I am always going to champion the hey, I will pay you. Here's the thing. Give me the product. One
Right.
transaction. You know what I mean? And I agree. A lot of these mobile games have just way too many systems. And in the case of Diablo Immortal, it's way too many. 21?
22.
22. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that is just. I remember trying to get into some game. I want to say it was League of Legends, because that is free to play.
it's probably,
And I did play that on my phone. And yeah, I think it was League of Legends Riptide or some shit like that, or I don't know. And yeah, there's a couple of gems that you order here, and there's another coin that you get here. It's just, it didn't have 22, but it had a bunch of systems, and I was just like, what are we doing here, guys?
Why are we trying to?
Yeah, what are we doing here? What does all this mean? And it's overly complicated, and I don't know.
It's meant to be. It's meant to be complicated. So you spend the more time you spend on the menu, the higher the chances of you
Spending
actually
something.
giving in and buying something. So you'll notice that all that shit is always presented on a completely separate, menu with a completely different interface. They always have like, oh, this is the special. This is 800% off the red gems. So I guess this is a steal at this price. It's like, no, you're being had. That's the thing. And that's the problem. All games have to make money, obviously, because they need to recoup their development costs, right? So I don't have a problem with a game that wants to serve me an ad between levels, because I mean, like, who cares? They got to make their money. Like, I don't have a problem with them making their money. Is the ones where they want to they just slap you with so many microtransactions and bullshit like that, and they ruin what could have been otherwise would have been a perfectly fine IP to pay. If it's on mobile, I don't know, $15. I don't want to Square Enix the shit out of it and say this is 40. Anyway, rant over. I haven't been playing a lot, much of anything. Oh, let me see. I was playing a little bit more. There's not a lot to be said about the game. It's kind of like it's a jet simulator or loose simulator with a story. And once you present that, like there's nothing else. It's not terribly exciting unless you like the genre. But I'm okay. It's not Final Fantasy 13. I didn't go back to Final Fantasy 13, but I did went back to Final Fantasy 15.
15, I knew it.
Sorry, to complete the game or get the full story or anything like that. All of them are, each DLC pack
Mhm.
three of your companions. So and you play as Noctis, and Noctis is a royal prince of and or I guess an empire in general. But yeah, it is. The game has had things that, and then you have your companions that are constantly with you, that are accompanying you on your on your trail. And those are the people that have their own DLC, uh yeah, their own DLC portions. Then, like, their own story. Like, if you wanted to know more about each particular of them, you could play their DLCs, but like, you don't really have to. So the Windows edition comes with all the DLC. And to drive the point home that this is a PC version, of course, they have to have some tie-in with Half-Life because
Oh, really?
Steam, because Steam,
Because yeah.
every time
Oh, yeah.
every time it's like Morgan like Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Gordon Freeman. Gordon Freeman, who is the scientist of Half Life. He's like the PC
The
mascot.
poster child for PC. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Nintendo has
He is
Mario.
the PC's version of Kratos.
That, just like PC gamers for the most part, and they are he's like super powerful. He's good with guns, and he's super intelligent because he's a scientist and whatever. So anyway, Final Fantasy 15. I've spoken about this game before. It has things that I like. I think the world itself is freaking gorgeous. It is amazing how they are able to put together a world that feels realistic. Even though it's obviously a fantastic a fantasy setting, but it feels grounded. They have done pretty good job with making sure that there's a lot of detail that kind of like grounds the world.
Mhm.
They're also gone a little bit over the top with some of the product placements. I've mentioned it already before that
Yeah.
they have the convenience stores where you go in and it has the American Express logo, and yes, it is the literal American Express logo. So I guess America must be a continent of whatever this world is,
Yeah.
because
It
they
must
have
exist
American
there. Yeah.
Express. And they also, whenever they are camping, like all their equipment, from chairs to like the burning stoves to the tent itself, like all of it is Coleman, because
Yeah.
of course
Of
it
course. Yeah.
is. Because of course it's going to be, it's like the product placement is, it's very obvious on it, and it's kind of silly. And yeah, I like the world. Honestly, my problem with it is that maybe it's a little too realistic, and there's not enough areas where like, it doesn't really call you to explore areas, because it's very big and vast. And if you want to go like someplace, you better hop on your car and drive there, because if you walk, it's just gonna take you forever.
Mm.
And it gets tedious. And then you get into battles, and the battles are not like particularly, I mean, they look flashy. I'll give him that. They look very flashy, but
I gotta say, playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, never playing Final Fantasy 15,
mm,
in my head, what we played in 7, or rather, because 7 came out after, I remember you're saying, I remember your issues with Final Fantasy 15's combat system,
mm,
and when I saw Final Fantasy 7 remake, that's what I thought we were going to get. And then we
yeah.
played it, and you enjoyed it. So now I'm wondering,
Hmm.
well, what the hell was 15? Because
It,
it
it
looks the same.
it looks the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
it almost looks the same. You will think, but it's absolutely not. It is 100% not the same. I mean, it's the same in the sense that it's action. Maybe you're not like going through menus and stuff like that. As much, but where there's strategy involved in your fights in 15 remake. Even though everything looks like crazy and flashy, you're
7
still
remake.
like making some selections every now and then, or making sure that you're doing appropriate attacks. And on 15 there's just one button that you press, which is B of all the fucking buttons, um, or I guess circle. Yeah, circle, the equivalent on I had to look it up. Circle on PlayStation, and that's your attack. And if you want to attack, all you got to do is just stop. And granted, yes, there are other buttons that let you like warp towards that particular, like log into a particular enemy and warp towards them, and then just press system. But it's a little bit, because all you got to do is just, yeah, I'll do no. Honestly, it's just press that button. When you notice that if you're about to get killed, you will notice, because your screen it will give you feedback that, oh, you're hurt, and then all you got to do is just press the right trigger uh to open a menu, because yes, that makes sense. With the right trigger, you open a menu, you select and use the potion, and give yourself, like, you don't die. I mean, I guess you die because they are Phoenix down, but I have yet to die in this game on the 3 or 4 times that I have attempted it. I know that as you're battling, if you battle too much, or if you get hit too much, like you could get hurt to the point where you might recover some of your HP, but not all of it. Like your HP bar gets shortened,
Mm-hmm.
and I have gotten into some situations where my HP bar is too short, and I don't have, I think it's a first aid kit or whatever the items is that I can just take it once and it immediately refills me like nothing happened. Like, it doesn't have that. Uh,
Mm.
Also, every time you're constantly regaining bars. It's like they didn't even touch me. Like, what happened? How come I don't have the effects of this battle? When
Yeah,
when
because it
Seven
looks the
Remake,
same. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
the
this.
way it looked, I was like, oh no, they're going for that, and that's why I was very hesitant, actually. Library, for some reason, like, I recognize that it's just a different Final Fantasy game. It's just different.
Mhm.
And before this game, or actually, I think it was around the time this game was released. Uh, a a movie companion was released. I think the name of it
Right,
was
right.
Kingsglaive or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. The
I
Kingslave, yeah.
I didn't think it was bad.
No,
Like, it
no.
was
I thought it
not
was actually
great or
pretty good. Yeah.
anything, but
Yeah.
it was actually. I don't
Uh,
know. I don't
Children of
know.
something. Dear Lord, let
The
me look it up.
children of the avid children.
Advent Children. That's the
Avid
one.
children.
Yeah.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh I I also I kind of hold this game uh a little, like, dearly, a little bit, because the whole thing with Noctis is that he is he is meant to marry this oracle princess, whatever, from another line. That was actually, and that's actually a theme, that
Mhm.
goes around, and you're your guys are like your best buds, and they're with you. They're like on this journey. They're like on this adventure, and it kind of like reminds me a little bit of my of my bachelor
Oh,
my bachelor outing, which was
yes. Game
phenomenal.
over, Santos.
The game over Santos, yes, yes, the game over Santos was I loved that time. I loved that day so much. You guys did a phenomenal job because it was not the same old tired like expected bachelor majigger. It was like we just went around town. We have fun. I think we or I remember we played paintball during the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we went at night, hopping around different bars that I'd never been, that I've discovered and that I super loved. And I I came home trash that night. You guys had to carry me to bed.
We literally stood you up against your door, rang the doorbell,
Rang the doorbell and
walked
delivered me
away.
to my to
And
wife to me. It's
you
like,
were
here
drunk
it
with
is.
gift in hand because we had given you the a gift. Oh my god.
Yes. Oh my
Oh, good
god.
times, man. Good
It it
freaking
it
times.
was it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. So I'm not gonna play in the PS4 version and never picked it up. Right now I've gone into that part, which I think is must be like maybe like 15 hours, 10 hours. I don't remember. Maybe
Mm.
15. Anyway, and I was deliberating like, I should probably stop. I have, dude, I have a shit ton of games that I should be playing that I have actually told me like, dude, what the fuck? Like, what how have you not touched this? And it's like, I just can't get the will to play it. At least with this one, like I know what I'm getting into, and at first he was like, oh, I'm gonna sit down and play this. But while I'm playing it, I'm having a fairly good time. It's holding my interest. So and like I said, I just want to see it through. I will hate to lose another Final Fantasy. Like not play another. Well, what am I saying? I guess I haven't. 12 has been the only one that I have regretted not finishing. And I own that game still, so I could
You
go
can still
back
go
and
back,
play
yeah.
it. So yeah. Anyway, not much, not much to say, on that one that I haven't said before. Traversing is still kind of drive on your car, or let yourself be driven by one of your, one of you guys, and you just chill in the back and listen to Final Fantasy music because you literally it's
Because you love it
literally
that
sitting in
much.
the car doing nothing until you get to your destination. And some of those trips are far. Some of the trips could take up to 10 minutes, to get to the next destination. So yeah, I'm not convinced this game is for you, but if you ever catch
I will.
it,
I will definitely try. I mean, I don't know if I'll finish it or anything like that, but I will definitely. It's for
Oh, that's right.
PlayStation
Yeah,
5. Yeah,
that's true. So you own. So yeah, there you go. You own it. One of those. I mean, you've gone you've gone back to worse. So,
true, true, very true.
get putting this on and just to test it out, and who knows? I mean, the game looks gorgeous on PS5. So, and it is a numbered Final Fantasy
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
game.
It's
So
exactly.
it
Yeah, it's part
you
of
know
the. Yeah, that's true.
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much. I haven't watched anything. I
Okay.
denounced that the TV
You
until
denounce TV? Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
There's just nothing. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for Stranger Things to come back, and
And then you
see
have a
what
reason
happens from
to
there.
venture from. Okay, fair enough, sir. Fair enough. I have been I've been playing and playing and watching a significant amount of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, you had mentioned this last week and maybe a couple times before. It's like, how do I find the time for all this? Honestly, bro, I don't know. I just think about it and I was like, I don't know how I'm doing this, but I'm going to
yeah,
start with a game that I have actually been playing a lot of, and that is the original
Mm.
turn-based strategy game called chess.
The original the game of chess. The original version.
The original turn-based strategy game, guys. Yeah, I've actually been playing that with with my wife and my son, because we'll pop in, and if my wife walks away for some, a lot of fun with that. So much so that I think, at night, we'll just, hey, let's go the best 2 out of 3. The good. I like the story. I like what they're trying to do here. This is not related to the Reapers, not a related moment. Little by little, I assume
that was the original plan, to go get out of the Milky Way and go and
fuck up some other screw up. At the intent for it is actually, it's fun. The only problem that I'm having, so the good part is that I enjoy what the story is. I'm the one they keep mentioning me as the Pathfinder, and I'm the Pathfinder.
I was just about to ask, the whole thing, like, why are you the Pathfinder?
Well, technically,
by about 14 months.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of things happen.
There's implausible.
There's a crazy mutiny. There's some weird shit that's happening. You're outside. Your energy is constantly being depleted because of because it's so damn cold. Another one was irradiated, and it's like, so you got to figure out, how to make these places habitable, and yes, there are enemy aliens, of course, aliens we've never seen before. They call them the
They speak perfect English.
Well, they have communicators.
They have universal translators. Okay.
Yeah, universal translator. They said, been here for 16 months. I haven't seen my kid. By the time you thaw out my kid, I'm going to be dead. You know what I mean? And all this stuff. And I'm like, man, that's like fascinating. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. But at the same time, we don't want to fucking thaw them out because we don't have a place to put them yet.
Also, the Outer Wilds did that, or not the Outer Worlds, or whatever was that.
The RPG. Outer World?
Remember?
Yeah. I don't remember that.
Remember? Like that, you don't remember that was like the main thing. It's like it's almost your decision. It's like you can have, sure, you can unfreeze them and get them here, but these planets don't have the resources to maintain, to keep them.
Right. Yeah. So very similar to that. But obviously there's, the political struggle behind it. You've got to be able to help this person. So maybe they'll help you to do this. And the same shit that you have in the original Mass Effects with the different species and stuff like that. So all that stuff is cool. All that stuff is still there. All that stuff feels Mass Effects, like Mass Effect,
Mass Effect is not Mass Effect without the enkindlers. All right. I need to see the floating jellyfishes.
Oh, no. If they made it, I didn't see one. I think they got stuck back in the Milky Way.
This one is upset that they didn't feature enkindlers in Mass Effect Andromeda.
I don't think they made the trip.
Well, they sided with the Proteans. I think that was the thing, right?
Could be it. Yeah, it could be it.
That's what Jericho used. Stupid fucking jellyfish.
So the bad is that it's getting a little tedious. The tedium is starting to set in, if you will. The way the mission layout goes up, you have a bunch of places you have your main missions, your side missions. You still have, of course, your loyalty missions. You have your tasks and all these things, and you got to go to different planets. It's just like, it's a lot. It's like, oh man, I just want to go to the main thing. But obviously, if I were to beeline the story, I don't want to be weak by the time I get to the end. I'm trying to do everything, and then of course my OCD comes in, and now I'm freaking focusing on all the tasks when I don't really need to focus on these tasks. But I'm like, I just need to get that box checked. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know. And then of course the ugly is that it's not optimized for a PlayStation 5, bro. It's still at 30 freaking frames per second. With some stutters during loading scenes, which is really funny.
And it's just like, are their faces still tired?
She still says it. I'm sorry, it's because they look down, but the eyes were programmed to look at the person, so it's still, and it's like, wow, what in the hell, guys?
It still look like freaking like an animatronics from Chuck E. Cheese is talking to you.
Yes, exactly. Yes, actually, that's perfect. There's a lot of that. The voice acting is fine, but it's not edited well enough where it almost feels like it's there's spaces in between conversations that wouldn't be
Mm,
spaced. You know what I mean? It's just
right.
it didn't load the next line, I guess, fast. I don't know what it is, but it's just a lot of little things like that where it's like, ooh, you can tell this is old. And
Yeah.
so yeah,
Oh,
I am now literally about 22 hours in. So I've put some time into this fucking game and place
I had the
placeholders here.
placeholders.
Yeah, it's like okay, clearly, So and I'm just like 20 hours, 4 more to go. So that's about 60 hours if I'm going to be doing, just rough math
That's
here. You
length
know what I
of a
mean?
Mass Effect game,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that
but I'm
sounds
like,
about
it's
right.
not. I don't know if it's going to hold me for it. You know what I mean? So
Mm,
if I end up letting it go at right now, for instance, at 20 something hours, I got my $10 out of it. You know what I mean? So I
right.
can't
Yeah.
complain. I am still curious. Dude, the fact that it's not even a 60 frames, I don't understand. It's like this is
That's the part that kills it. To me. If anything, if I mean, I realize it's like worse than Battlefield Hardline, or
yeah,
almost just as bad.
yeah. I was gonna say yeah, right around there. Yeah,
So yeah, so I realize that, but damn, I mean, not even that means that the cap was, it was a hard cap. It was a program cap, and it doesn't matter how much power you put on it.
throw it.
It
Yeah,
you throw it. It doesn't.
it's not gonna fucking
Damn,
change.
that's
Yeah,
disappointing. I
and
mean,
that
at
is
least
the
the
case.
30 is perfect. As far as it's a solid 30, you don't see slowdowns, right?
No, not from what I saw. It looks like and it stutters there, and I was just like,
It stutters. Oh
wow.
no! Which
And then of
at
course the
this point we
load.
have a fucking SSD. There's no excuse for
There is no
that.
excuse, and on top of that, the loading is not optimized either. There's still it's
It's
not
still slow.
long, but it's definitely not like any other fucking game I've played on PlayStation, 5 recently. So it's like I'm just like, my God, guys, you couldn't do
Mm,
anything at all to open this up. But yeah, you're right.
no.
EA just said, nah, we're not even fucking touching that game.
We never, this never existed. We're
Existed.
not even
Yep.
gonna, like, I bet you that they already said they're working on Mass Effect 4, and that's
Hmm.
what evidently they're calling it. And it's Shepard's gonna be there and all that. You could tell they're going to completely ignore or pass or not even recognize in lore or anything that this game was made because
Yeah.
of how poorly it got received,
Yeah.
because of how poorly of a job BioWare made. BioWare did.
Yeah. This was Bioware Montreal, which, if I remember correctly, was the Team B, if you will. You know what I mean? The junior
A
var.
bit more? Do you feel the need to go
I
back
mean,
or?
like I said, I will honestly. I don't know about tonight, but I don't know. Right now, we've been honestly. I played a lot of chess throughout the week, and we started playing this game. And I say we because my wife and I started playing it. I
Oh,
mentioned it to her, and I started showing her videos of Joseph Fares, right? The owner of Haze Light Studios. Fuck the Oscars guy. And all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm so proud of. Yeah, I'm not proud of him because I know him, but I'm like so happy for him in the sense that he started off with A Tale of Two Brothers, made it
mm.
to a few other games, and it finally hit with It Takes Two, which won Game Awards Game of the Year last year, and so that's what we started playing. And she was
Your
like,
wife
okay, so
started playing It Takes Two?
yeah, my wife and I started playing It Takes Two,
Ah,
and I am first off. I am enthralled with this game. This is just some of the most charming gameplay that I've ever experienced, and seamless, bro.
yeah.
Seamless co-op. It doesn't pause. It just the screen, the split screen stage just kind of moves off to the like it has like in a cutscene. It has a full screen, and then
Uh-huh.
the bar just comes to the middle, and now you have both. And it just as you're moving, you know what I mean. I was like, oh
Right.
my god, this is beautiful. Um, my wife is not a gamer, and my concern was with this one was this is not like she has played with me a little bit of Overcooked. She
Uh-huh.
played a little bit with me of Moving Out. Obviously she's actually playing Tetris as we speak. She's out there playing Tetris Effect. These games are one kind of game. It Takes Two is a 3D action platformer. And so in my head, I'm just like, oh, this is going to be a challenge. But I didn't want to, in any way, not encourage. What is disencourage? No,
Discourage her.
discourage. Thank she's disencourage. Discourage her. into whatever. It's like, no, we'll do this. And of course, as we're playing, I can tell at some points that she was getting a little bit like, oh my God, why is it not moving the way I'm trying to move it? What's wrong with this camera? Why am I staring at a wall? You
Tank
know,
control.
and,
Oh, I was
and
gonna ask you if tank controls.
no, it's not tank control. It's
No,
a
I know
regular
the
game.
game's not tank controls, but
And we even beat the first boss. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Which is well into the game. And I remember we took it and we had to we lost a few times. And I was like, I'm gonna run over here. When that thing comes up, you do this. When I'll go over here with it, and she's like, okay. And then we hit it, you know what I mean? And went through it. Dude, I can't express how much fun I'm having with it. I don't know if she's having as much fun. She's enjoying it, and she even asked earlier, "Are we gonna go? Are we gonna play again?" But of course,
oh, there you go.
I was watching like a couple of stuff, and then we ended up playing some chess instead. But it's like, okay, that came from her. Like, I'm not pushing or anything like that. It's like, no,
Yeah,
if you're into it, you're into it. And she, yeah, she
that's
was she
that's a
was
good
really
sign.
enjoying it. Yeah, she was really enjoying it. I don't know how far we because I understand that the game does get a little bit challenging. It is also very forgiving. If you're, for instance, let's say you're in an area where you have to jump to this panel here, panel 1, panel 2, panel 3. If
Mm.
you jump to panel 1 and die, you start by the beginning. If you jump to panel 3 and then die, you start from panel. There are ways of, to me, there are ways that I can almost help. I don't want to say carry, but try to do, like, there's always like there's always something that one person can do this, one person, and you can tell that one of the tasks may be a little bit more challenging. And I'm like, I'll
Mm.
handle that task. You handle this one. You know what I mean? And it's just, bro, it's a fucking good game. this is
Oh yeah, but
this
no,
is a
I mean, surprise, game of the year.
yeah.
Uh,
It is. The story is also kind of, point of point. The two characters, husband and wife, they're getting a divorce. She's made of the parent and of the parents, and she's kind of
mm,
been playing with them to kind of make them talk and get better and keep loving each other and all this. And at that point, when they broke the news that we're going to be living separate places, she goes to her room, she grabs the dolls, she begs and pleads, cries, and the teardrops falls on the dolls, and then boom, before you know it, the parents have been transported into the bodies of the dolls. And then now you have this weird book that the girl has that becomes alive, that I think the name is like Doctor. The two parents are just like, no, we just get us back to our bodies, please, whatever, and then all this
right.
stuff. And it's so fucking charming, bro. And dude, I'm this is what I'm trying to say. Why I think if I go back out like the weekend and I go to play anything and she goes, "Do you want to play this Mass Effect?" Se jodió, bro. Should have sitting to the side. I'm like, well, let's get back in. Um, Very important with my wife. I don't get frustrated.
It's an expensive of having some sort of gaming competency at least
Yeah,
to
because
be able
remember,
to
it's a
play.
3D. It is a 3D. Think of a 3D. I'm trying to think of it far.
Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, it's that
Oh,
type of stuff. It's
3D.
not so far. It's not that
3D.
challenging, and all the stuff is, or most of the stuff is based on both of you working together.
Okay.
Like for instance, there's this room where it has this vent that's pushing up air. The next vent is sucking air. If you drop into that vent that sucks, all right, and try to angle the camera this way, and all right, do this. But I didn't care. Just the fact that she was sitting there playing with me, it was. I just like you're not gonna play with me anymore.
No, no, no,
The
right.
first
No,
thing that'll come out of
obviously,
our mouth,
no,
yeah.
no, no. This is not a
So
game that I would want to. I'm talking about No
the other
Way Out.
one, yeah. The No Way Out, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
who
yeah, that
knows?
one.
Maybe after this one, you show No Way Out. And she's like, okay, let's go.
Well, I won't bring it up. But I did tell her, and I think that's what she was, because I was telling her, it's like, he pushed to have this game, Joseph Harris, the maker of it, Hazelight Studios, pushed to have this game where it needs a live second. There's no AI version of this, and
Mm.
on top of that, it comes with a friend code where you can give this code to someone, and they don't need to own the game
Oh, this
and
one
still
also?
play with you. Yeah. Same thing with It Takes Two. Yeah. And frankly, you got to give him props because he did this with EA, and EA is all about money. And you see
Yeah.
EA, he had to sit there and convince. So we may possibly make half of what we could sell because of the Super Friend Code thing, and they went with it. So yeah, I got to give him props. He's obviously of the Raccoon City incident with faithful in the sense that it's about the closest. It includes Chris, it includes Claire, it includes Leon, it includes fucking Wesker, pretty much everything that happened in the game. But very truncated. It's almost like they took the events of Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, jammed them together into one film, and cut out what they did. Well, I guess they thought they didn't need, and it left no, absolutely god awful. Goffle. Yes, it is Goffle. I think the only person who looked like the character they should is Claire, but I guess that's not hard to do because you just need a brunette girl and boom, you nailed it. Yeah, and it is not scary. Special effects are not great. This is not even B level, bro. Whatever is under B level is definitely had a hand in this. He had to be a producer or something because he had a fucking hand in this shit right here.
Wow.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, you haven't seen Dead or Alive, the movie, or was the other one? Was there a Tekken one? I want to say there was a Tekken movie also. I'm almost certain.
Maybe, I don't know, but I didn't see Dead or Alive. No, is that a Uebo? Is that who did that?
It might as well be. I wouldn't be surprised.
I did see The Legend of Chun-Li, which was
awful. The Legend of Chun-Li was the other one I was thinking. That's right.
Yeah, which was really bad. I did see what's the other one? The Dragon Ball Z movie, which was also awful. And I don't even know Dragon Ball. I don't even, I don't know anything about it, but I just know that Goku was an American guy. That said it all. Okay, so he's not even Japanese. How about that?
That was not a slap in the face of the fans. That was literally spit on your throat, Pat.
Yeah,
I was like, fucking disgusting. Like,
holy. So this Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City is right around that, basically. Right
around American Goku. That's offensive.
I mean, this might as well be, bro. This might as well be.
Wow.
Yeah, it might as well be.
What's the point? What's the score?
Oh, dude, this is fucking hell. This is a 1, bro. I'm not even gonna think about it. This is a 1. This is just no good. Don't watch this. Don't waste time with this.
No.
I don't know why I wasted time. Oh, because I saw a sale. It was 99 cents rental. That's why. And I literally got gypped. I'm just letting you know. In the end, I was gypped. I was the one that was gypped because that wasn't even worth 99 cents. Unbelievable.
Damn.
The movie that I did see that I actually really, really enjoyed was the remake or the reboot or whatever it's called of Candyman. Well, actually, technically a sequel. It's a sequel. A sequel, yes. So all the events of the original Candyman happened. Like, that's canon. Candyman 2 and 3, not canon. Those things don't exist in this world. This is...
So they retconned 2 and 3 and they just took... Okay.
Basically retcon 2 and 3. This is directed by Nia DaCosta, but it is also produced and written by Jordan Peele.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I love the original Candyman, for the record. I think that's one of the most underrated horror films. And because it also had sort of a message, you know what I mean? Because it differed from everything else. The difference there, obviously, what it was trying to do, trying to talk about, it was still coming from white directors, white writers, and all this stuff. Here, at least, obviously, you're getting it from from folks that know. It also takes place in Cabrini Green, which is in the original film as well. which is essentially a ghetto in Chicago. But of course, now we are in 2021 at this point in the film, anyway. And that particular ghetto has been gentrified, and now you have a bunch of beautiful buildings, and people are living well and all this stuff. But there's still a small little pocket that still exists of that, and of course, that is where he was a black man in the late 1800s who was a painter, and he was commissioned to do a painting of this rich guy, commissioned to do a painting of his daughter. He ends up falling in love with his daughter, and daughter gets pregnant. Of course, these people are white and he's black, so obviously that doesn't mix well back in the 1800s. So he ends up getting a bunch of people to essentially kill him, and they beat him, they cut off his hand, put a freaking hook on it, they pour him with honey, and you just go, okay, I see where they're going here, because it's almost like a fable or an urban legend, right? And so because of being told in shadow puppets, like and keep in mind that the original Candyman was from the 1800s. Anyway, dude, I'm watching this shit again. I'm telling you right now, I'm watching this shit again. I really enjoyed it.
What is the level of I did fucking watch and fucking love it.
Okay, so then that's probably right around the same thing. I mean, there is
silliness.
That's silliness, but it is definitely
not in the sense of being funny, but in the sense of like, it doesn't go to, it's not trying to make me like fucking puke.
No. When it comes to gore and shit, no. It's not. I mean, there's some obviously there's a man with a hook where his hand should be, and it's a bloody stump. You know what I mean? But other than that, you know what I mean? There's not a lot. There's nothing that's disgusting, and I guess I can
more
understand.
interesting. The interesting story.
It is more of a spooky tale. It is more of a tension builder. It is, again, beautifully shot. I think that's the thing where it's just like, just because you're a horror film does not mean you should just neglect good filmmaking. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you can just.
I wouldn't know good filmmaking if I was slapping the face with it.
You would, dude. You would.
I don't have that eye. I can appreciate a beautiful shot, but I can tell like what made it beautiful. Like it's just. Oh, that looks nice. Oh, those are the most horrible.
But that's the thing.
That's all CG. I'm like, oh, okay.
You would know. Come on now. I mean, there's just certain things that you go, okay.
I don't have that eye. I don't have the appreciation. Like I cannot tell. Like there's an entire movie could be filmed in just one shot, and if you don't tell me that it was, I probably wouldn't have noticed.
Yes, but then when you do, so that's the whole deal. It's like I can point it out to you, and then because it's one of those things, you may not notice it at first, but there's a feeling behind it because it's filmed in one shot and there's no cuts. Psychologically, as you're watching the film, you don't look away because the camera's not cutting. You know what I mean? It's not going to a hard cut, and because of that, it's just naturally you feel like I can't look away. My point is to say, Candyman is really well. I do think you would enjoy what it's trying to do. Again, it's not it's a slasher film in the end. You know what I mean? Right. It's not a gore fest or anything like that. Hell, even the original wasn't really a gore fest. Although there was a line in the original that haunts me to this day because it's just like so because of the guy who played the original Candyman he had a voice. He was the same, if I'm mistaken, he was the same guy who was in Final Destination. You see any of the Final Destinations?
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, the point is he's this really deep voice, and he tells someone, he goes, if I grab you or when I get you, I will slash you from groin to gullet. And I was like, oh, you know what I mean? It's just spoken. That's all it was. You know what I mean? It was like, wow, that made me hurt in many places. You know what I mean?
That made me hurt from groin to gullet.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god,
and everything in between.
Yeah, and so
it's no. Do you want to live your life deliciously? But
I mean, nothing is, bro. Nothing is. Let me tell you, that's what it needs to from the first one,
right?
but it for someone who watched the first one, and by the way, the first one literally is 30 years old. Came out in 19. I'll watch it again. I want to watch it again because the way it's filmed, the way it's done, it makes it an interesting slasher film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Candyman is not your normal whatever. He's a. I mean, when you look at the history of Candyman, you go, "Oh well, shit! No wonder you created his ass." At all, but started watching season 3 of Love, Death, and Robots, and that is a good one. That is a good one. There's a cool miniatures going through a zombie apocalypse, and I fucking love it. It is like some of the best animation I've ever seen because everything looks really, really tiny, like tiny miniatures. And it everything's played out. But anyway, going through that, and I'll let you know more about that. It's a lot of known faces. I think Nolan North is in it as well. So anyway, that, ladies and gentlemen, is all that we will do. And we are back from our break, and it is now time for our trailer of the week.
I didn't know if we were doing it or not, so I was like, let me wait to see why he's got a cue. Is it the hot topic? Is it the trailer? Who knows? Is it news? Is it confused? But sure. Let's go.
No. The hot topic is the news. I mean, there's really nothing else about news. But yeah, no, we do have a trailer. And honestly, here's the crazy part. I mean, Netflix had their Geek Week.
If it's that Prey, well, I mean, at this point,
you'll take that, right?
I'll take anything. No, I enjoyed what I saw here. I'm not sure where I'm standing, but I'm probably standing in the camp of this one rather than some retelling of the Prey, the video game.
Yeah.
Movie, nobody needs to see that.
So this is Prey, and it takes place in the Predator universe. Something that you find out.
Oh, I get it.
It's all coming together now, right? Yeah,
Prey,
makes sense.
Yes, Predator and Prey. Oh, okay, all right.
Yes, sir. I guess it's back in those times, colonial times. Is that right?
I mean, listen, it will have to be, right? Because what would be the point of making it like, oh, this is a planet completely different from
and they
just so happen to go through the exact same shit, like
the same ecosystem.
It is the colonial era. It is Native Americans and colonials.
Colonials. And of course a predator comes in,
and of course a fucking giant alien.
The last Predator movie, you probably didn't. They already established how primal they are, or tribal they are. Okay. And so I was like, oh, okay. So even I saw that connection, like, okay. Since we already established this, hey, let's unite these and put them with the Native Americans. You know what I mean?
That's your concern, okay?
I'm just saying, because it has to be. So I get it. They've been hunting for forever, right? Their species of hunters. That's what they do. That's how they train. That's been established in the entire Predator lore, and even in the Alien versus Predator movies. Reload that, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I'm curious, and the fact that it's on Hulu is even more of a benefit. I know you don't have Hulu, but I do, and I'm like, well, that's a movie night right there. You know what I mean? And sit back with some popcorn and see how a Native American in colonial times can handle a predator. Sounds like a Saturday night to me.
I've always told you I like alternate takes. So this one definitely fits the bill. I mean,
it is definitely.
It is gonna have. Now, who is she? I feel like I've seen her, but I can't say because I don't watch a lot of movies. So at the same time, like, of course you haven't. You've probably seen someone that sort of look like her, and you're getting it confused. And before I say the completely wrong name,
Her name is Amber Midhunder.
I've seen it. Then there's no
No,
way fucking hell I have. So
Mid-
let's be real here. Let's play the odds here.
she is a Native American though, so that's good. Obviously, they went with somebody who
Okay.
is
Yeah.
Native. She is a member of the Fort Peck Sioux tribe. So yeah, so at least we're not.
And now we know, lore wise, who took down the first predator.
I know, because regardless of what happens, we know she's gonna fucking make it. You know what I mean? Unless
Well, I
unless they
mean,
really make a weird turn in the film.
fucking predators, man. They're not, they're not that smart, I guess, or they're not that
I
cool.
said we're about to find out how dumb they can be. That's for sure. And again, I'm not saying it because she's a fucking woman. I'm simply stating it because she's supposed to be a Native American. And I just know that, you have
You
arrows and you have, I mean, look
trying
at
to
the
fix it
bear.
make it
She
worse.
shot an arrow at the bear. The bear still kept hunting her ass down. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what do you think a predator's going to do? Anyway, that's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with her
Listen,
gender. Yeah.
no, no, absolutely not. I don't care if Pocahontas want to go catch a predator.
Nice. Writing that one down because we got to use that some other time. Well done, sir.
Okay, I'm done.
So that, guys, is Prey. It's coming out in August to Hulu. It is a Hulu original, so
Pray that shit.
yeah, exactly.
Nobody
Come,
needs
you
that.
can circle back to Disney Plus later on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
exactly.
you want to? Yeah.
When Mandalorian season 3 comes, then you'll be fine. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, have you haven't? Okay, no, of course not, because otherwise you would have brought it up. I was gonna ask you, like, what's your interest on watching Ben Kenobi, and apparently you haven't. So
I have not, sir. Because here's my deal. And this is a sidebar, obviously, guys. But I need, so if you don't, then you're gonna be left out, and then the whole FOMO thing is gonna feed that necessity. So you may not watch it when it first comes out, but before you watch something else, you're gonna be almost forced to do that. And so the book of Boba Fett is the series that I have absolutely zero interest in. Like zero interest in, and it is literally holding me up, sir. Because I have to watch that, and I have not watched it, but I already know that there are connections, especially if I'm ever going to go back to Mandalorian season 3. Watch freaking, and I'm glad I watched. For the record, I'm glad I watched Hawkeye because actually it was very enjoyable. And now I know that the next thing is that you want, but there's definitely going to be something, whatever. Almost like prepping, like, hey, don't expect, this year may be a little lacking. And
he did say that a lot of the stuff that they're going to talk about was going to be stuff that has already been revealed. So I did know that, and I did take it as, oh, okay, so that means there's not going to be barely any new stuff or anything like hard hitting. It's just going to be a lot of.
It was 2 hours long, and it felt it. It definitely felt it.
And for the first time, it
freaking felt it, bro. I've actually got up a few times to go to the kitchen and grab, because it's on streaming, so I can just pause it. No, just let it play. Just whatever. Just let it go. They're not talking anything I want to talk right now. So, overall, I gotta say, a little disappointed with the show, but I don't know if there's anything to say. Then don't fucking say anything. Just
you don't need to fill out 2 hours if you don't
exactly.
have
I was like, there's no. This isn't a.
Speaking from the experience, our podcast.
Exactly. We know best when we are just jabbed.
They just anime and open world. That's not the Japanese gaming industry stronghold, or is their specialty. And hey, if they're already working on in this one, that's probably could be good, for both games. So
it does, but I don't know. I need more than what I saw there.
It can be.
I don't trust the Bloober team.
I don't like the scare jump, or if they happen, they need to be earned. They need to be legitimate. There can't be just like boo,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
some
yeah.
fucking like monster
Crashes
or
through the
something,
window
or
or
you hear
something
a
like that.
loud
Yeah.
noise out of nowhere for no reason. It's like
Yep.
no.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Which is kind of what this looks like. But anyway,
Yeah.
next game was Gotham Knights. And of course, this is another trailer. We already know this is coming out
Oh
this year.
yes.
It's coming out this year. So obviously, this is a trailer that showed off Nightwing. Uh, showed off what he can do in combat. I am still such a wait and see on this one. It's unreal because it's no offense to W Montreal, but mm, I don't know. I
It's
don't know
not.
sometimes.
Oh shit! It's WB Montreal. Yeah, yeah. WB games. It's hard to trust. I mean, they start looking very rad, right? But they just end up being unsupported, incomplete, buggy. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm not sure. Like it looks good. And I'll be interested on playing. I do want another Batman-ish type of what would you call that? The third,
Action game,
yeah, yeah,
3D
yeah,
action
yeah.
game. Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and the gameplay with if that's really gameplay with Nightwing looks like it looks cool. It does look nice. It's just it needs to be good now. It needs
Yeah,
to
I
review
agree.
well, and I'm gonna wait and see on that one
I
before
agree.
I get my hopes up.
100%. And of course, the last thing that was presented at the show, first and foremost, you had Neil Druckmann come on and talk about the multiplayer game that he did not show anything of. He only showed a concept trailer because, yeah, those are things you want to see at a concept still. Sorry, not even a trailer, just a picture. What is his name? Dear Lord, Troy Baker, out to talk about how they played some roles in the Last of Us show, and then it finally showed off the Last of Us Part One remake, launching September 2nd on PlayStation 5 only, to align with the title's 2020 sequel of PlayStation 4.
Oh, no,
Last month.
it's good that they're doing that on the 20th anniversary of Last of Us, right? Because it's been
More like
what's
ninth anniversary. Yeah, and I saw the trailer, and I don't want to be a dick about it, but I didn't see anything that really made it look. I mean, I had to actually watch the side by side thing just so I can see. Oh, now I see the difference.
we already played that game. We already played it twice. There was no fucking reason to waste resources on making a third version of the same game on just for the PS5 when the last remake on the PS4 still looked pretty good.
It looks
It
amazing.
turns out
Yeah.
not it's not as bad. Now, like if you were showing me something that was like fucking revolutionary, like Unreal Engine,
Was
oh
very
man,
burnt.
misreading your audience, or who knows? Maybe this is exactly what the audience wanted, considering that like I haven't this is a
Dude,
Truman Show, yes.
yeah, it looks pretty cool. Obviously, the characters are very stylized, and not very, like photorealistic characters. Like they're very more animated, but it still looks like it's a lot of fun from what it showed off. Definitely interested in that. On that, and that, my friend, was another very good game that you need to
I'm
check out.
I'm surprised that one. They're making a sequel to that.
I am too. It wasn't a very big game when it came out, so I was a little bit shocked when they said they're doing a second one. But maybe they need to. Maybe they don't have Square Enix expectations. You know what I mean? And they say, "Well,
Right.
we only need to sell 50,000 units," and they hit it, and probably more.
Yeah.
That's the only
They
thing
make
I can think
money,
of. It
so and they're happy with the lore and everything. Maybe they have more story to tell.
Exactly. Although this is not connected to that, but it's a similar scenario. Like, or rather, the characters should. It doesn't include the same
Maybe
characters.
it's a Life is Strange situation then.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect, bro. Uh, another one that I saw that I think you definitely need to check out is Wanted Dead, which
Dead.
is, have you heard of that one?
No, I'm pulling it up right now.
So the reason I say that you're gonna like this is because this is it appears like a shooter. It is in another world, like a universe away from a multiverse, right? We'll call it multiverse,
Like
like
an
a
alternate reality.
multiverse, yeah, reality where Bayonetta is a cop.
I'm down.
I know.
Yeah, it somehow just got purchased already.
If you watch
They negative 365 because I bought it a year ago.
nice. Yeah. I saw it was just one of those rare things that popped up, and I saw and I just like it caught my eye, and I was just kept watching the trailer. I was like, whoa, this looks special. Like it looks like it can be special. I'm not saying it is special, but it's hard to tell.
To be honest with you, the graphics still look like Bayonetta graphics, which is to say,
older.
by
Yes.
that time, by this
Yeah.
time,
Yeah. It does. And I won't deny that. I won't deny that at all.
It looks like a Switch game, to be honest with you. And I don't know how I feel about that part.
Let me see. Let me see if I have the where it's coming to. Let's see here. It is coming to everything actually. And actually it's coming this year, fourth quarter, 2022.
Oh, okay, all right. I hope it's good because I could go for another character action game. Like I like that. I like that.
Yeah. It does in the end for me. I say yes. It does have graphic wise. It does look like it could be last gen, but in the end, we all know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying in the end,
I guess it looks like a game that could possibly not exceed a 6. I'm sorry, on our scale, a 2.
A 3. Yeah. Oh, 2. Wow.
Like it doesn't look.
It caught my eye. I enjoyed it, right? You still enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah.
Shit out of it.
Yeah. Exactly. This could be one of those games. That's what I'm trying to say. This could be one of those games where, it's not going to be a 10, but maybe it's the most fun 7 you've had in a while. You know what I mean? And or in our case, the most fun 3.5.
At the end of the day, that's all you can hope for in life.
Yeah, exactly. Nowadays, yeah.
If it's a fun 7, go for it.
Exactly. So yeah, that is everything that I want to talk about because there was a lot of pixel art games, which I am into pixel art for the record, but dear Lord, there was so much of that. And one thing that was missing, bro, and I have to say it, is I didn't see anything that can't run on a Switch. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like most of the stuff I saw is like, this looks good, but nothing is pushing the bar.
Yeah.
And you know who pushes the bar? Microsoft and Sony. And Microsoft has still a conference this Sunday, 2 days from today. And so we'll see what bar they push. Sony, who knows? They may not do anything. Who knows?
I think they're at their headquarters going like, mission accomplished, guys. We got them excited about fucking Last of Us again.
Apparently, dear Lord, that has to be just them. There was a leak that just came out. I think GameSpot had it up saying something that the God of War Ragnarok was meant to come out in September, and internally it was revealed that it got pushed to November, but is set to come out this year. And apparently Sony's going to be saying something sometime this month. Who knows? That's a leak. That's a rumor. That was on GameSpot.
I can definitely see them having their own, just saving.
With everyone, this is Mad Dog. Damn it. Signing off for the week, saying, see you next
time. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Give me a drink. Oh, wait. That's a song. Mr. David Santos, take us home.
I just want to a quick shout out to a particular game. I don't think we discussed
Oh,
it, and it should be added because it did caught my attention. It's called Metal Hellsinger. Did you talk
metal
about? Did we spoke about that one?
hell is. Oh, I see it. I see it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hellsinger. Metal Hellsinger.
Is this the one that? Oh, I think I have seen this. This is where there's like straight heavy metal playing throughout the game.
It's a shooter that it's almost a shooter combined with a rhythm game, but it's all heavy metal, and you have
Yes.
like fucking System of a Down, Lamb of God.
Yes. Yes. I did see this.
It has a bunch of like the rest is spot on.
It's okay. He can mod that shit in. He'll be fine. All right, guys. Well, that takes us to the end. We'll see you next week. GG!